Good morning. We are back at Turkey Run State Park in Marshall, Indiana, working on our last step of the 5 mile challenge. This is Boulder Canyon. I can't believe it's snowing on this day. This was January 17th. I know it was cold. Didn't remember it snowing. Um, I'm down in the creek bed at the bottom of the trail. Um, Unbelievable. I know it might sound, but a lot of trash ends up in the creek bed because people throw it off the side of the trail. So I get a lot of stuff down there. Now, this isn't actually on the trail, but it's an interesting place. I see a lot of people taking pictures and stuff down here. There's sometimes a little bit of waterfall, as you can see down in that gap. I have probably walked down here once before this, but may as well do it today. And yeah, I guess I got some fresh snow. I know I was walking slowly around here because it does get icy and slippery. Um, did I find something? I don't know. Am I going to go all the way over? Probably not, because that sounds like a lot of work. But interesting little place back there. Now we'll head back, work not work on not falling down or slipping on these rocks, and make our way back to Boulder Canyon. Now, we've talked about the surface rocks or the ground is made up of in this area before. So we know that most of our rock that we see in outcroppings is going to be sandstone. There's some limestone underneath it, but if we look at these boulders in Boulder Canyon, we'll see, and I'll throw a picture up in here, that they are not necessarily sandstone or limestone. These are some big old igneous rocks, either granite or basalt. And you got to ask yourself, what is the difference between granite or basalt? Well, basalt is usually dark colored, black, whereas granite is typically a lighter color. Basalt, what I read is it comes up on the surface like from an eruption of a volcano. The basalt is on the surface. It cools really quickly. Um, Granite typically cools under the surface of the ground, so it cools slower. So if you think about it, if we look at some of these rocks, some of them are very fine grained, and that's because they cooled quickly. Okay, if the coarseness of the grain in the rock tells you how long it took to cool. So some granite has huge crystals that you can clearly see. Those took a long time to cool, so they were probably formed deeper in the earth, whereas some granites are finer grained and those cooled more quickly. Just an interesting thing about those rocks. Um, Other thing I wanted to talk about is fruit peels. I know last week we talked about recycling, but what about, ooh, I found something there. What about the ability to biodegrade of fruit peels? I know a lot of people throw fruit peels out on the trail because, hey, they're natural, they don't cause a problem. Um, I don't know what your feelings are, but there is some interesting stuff. And so, banana peels take between 2 and 6 weeks for a banana peel to biodegrade. Apple core, 3 weeks to 2 months. Orange peels, up to 2 years. Now, you say, yeah, but it's still natural. It is still natural. But do any of these natural pieces actually come from this area? You could say, yes, you can grow apples in the Midwest. Okay, apple trees love cold. I think they need it. I'm making that up, but I think they need it to reset. Bananas and oranges, they don't typically grow in the Midwest. So, should you be throwing them out, or should you be carrying them out with you? Remember, it's like, what do they say? Take only pictures, leave only footprints. I think that's what it said. So I don't know. Think of that before you just throw your stuff out there and decide that it's natural and okay to do it. So this is, like I said, our last one. Um, After we take our picture at Boulder Canyon and we have all of our other pictures, then we can go to the nature center and show them our pictures. Remember, Trail 9 is closed right now, so I'm not sure if they're doing anything. I don't know if you want to take your pictures of Trail 9 while you're while it's closed. And but anyway, go to the nature center with your pictures of all the different places on the map. Um, Hand them a crisp new dollar bill, and they will hand you your 5 mile challenge sticker. It is my favorite sticker that I've gotten so far because it is kind of specific. Forgot that I got to throw a picture up on here of that, so I'll make sure I do that. Otherwise, this is kind of an upsy downsy portion. You can see where all these slats or 4x4s have been replaced recently. So they have been doing a lot of work on this trail. And it's nice to see. There's just today, there's like one place I think that is still kind of tough. So, anyway, here's the end of it. This is some trash that I picked up this last weekend. I found 3 shirts out on the trail, took them home, threw them in the laundry. Um, One of them's pretty good. It's kids, but it's a pretty hefty sweatshirty thing, Under Armour. One's a t-shirt that will fit my wife, but she probably won't wear it. And then there's like a lightweight jacket. They were all in different places. I don't know why people are stripping down naked when they're on the trail. But anyway, trying to think of what I'm going to do for the next series is considering the very rugged trails that are rated as very rugged, or just going to some smaller nature parks that people don't necessarily know about. Anyway, thank you for coming along. I'll catch you next time.